have this surprise special session this morning to celebrate a birthday, that being yours. The birthday of the Charlotte chapter. We're 1 year old. 1 years? 1 years old?
Back to my hometown tonight. Something stops me every time. Oh, every time. Creative morning Charlotte makes it alright. So yeah, put my clothes on, I'm gonna start my day. Creative mornings, yeah. Creative mornings, yeah. I get some coffee, meet a new friend, and know it's gonna be okay. Oh yeah. Party in the Queen City. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a party in the Queen City. I'm gonna get up, put my clothes on, go home, I'm gonna start my day. Creative mornings, yeah. Creative mornings, yeah. I get some coffee, meet a new friend, I know it's gonna be okay. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's a party in the Queen City. Oh yeah. It's a party in the Queen City!
The last donut is mine. I know it's mine. Because the last donut is mine. I don't understand the way you think, saying that it's yours, not mine. You keep dreaming that donut's yours, really just a waste of time. That donut's mine. Oh yeah. The last donut is mine. Don't waste your time. Because the last donut is mine. Look, I want you more than he, but I love you endlessly. Okay, the main event, ladies and gentlemen, the main event. Thanks for hanging with us. There's a little more extra moving parts on this birthday celebration, so, thanks for hanging with us here. Ladies and gentlemen, here to speak to us on our global theme of sound, please welcome the amazing Julianne Gold Brunson.
At one point, as a freshman in college, I denied being an actor or having artistic skill to another person who himself was an actor. He recognized that in me, and I said, no, that wasn't true. Nevertheless, when I had to write a paper on auditioning, I got the part to what led to Children of a Lesser God. The most life-changing experience. It was just amazing. And even though this play was a critical hit at the Mark Taper Forum in Los Angeles, it was huge, sold-out smash hit. When we went to New York, we had expected to fail because previously on Broadway, plays about diversity or other cultures had closed. And but when we won the Tony Award, we began to realize that the play had hit on some primal, universal theme that everyone could relate to. And that was that being yourself has validity. I was the last cast member to leave the show. I performed in London, and that was a wonderful time in London, and also in Spoleto Festival, Italy. That was our last show with all of the cast. When I was done with the play, I went back to California, Los Angeles, and I auditioned for many TV shows. I worked as a filing clerk at night so I could be available during the day for audition. And I was on a few TV shows. And this was one that won an Emmy Award. It was an educational series teaching sign language during commercial breaks.
Look, you see what I see? I sure do. Oh, man, we're cheaper than a taxi. So why do we pick up hitchhikers? Now you complain.
How are you doing, hooker?
Great, now. Angie De Felici, Vincent Romano. You know her. And her paisana, too. Terrific. You gotta turn to her to speak to her. She's deaf. And one of the best teachers of the deaf I ever met.
He's such an expert, you know. It's nice to meet you, Vincent Romano.
Nice to meet you, Angie De Felici. What's going on? Angie's gonna help us climb the ladder.
I realized, though, that in the world of TV, I could wait a whole year before there would be a part, that there was only so many storylines that television could hold in a year related to maybe disabilities. So if there was a part for someone who was deaf, female, white, and in my age range, I would audition for that and then wait another whole year for another audition, And there were very few, very low percentage of the storylines would be related to disability. So I began to feel wasted. I began to wonder what else I would be good at. Was acting my only talent? How else to use this part of myself? So today I'm a clinical psychologist, and I often refer back to that acting career as my other lifetime, And but when I say that hides an essential truth, and it's that the acting skills and artistic skills have never really left. I'm still using them even now, today. They've evolved and morphed with me as I grew. And but I digress. This talk is about sound. And if you ask an audiologist about sound, he might tell you about decibel levels. But if you ask someone like me, I would tell you that it's about perspective, literally. You hear yourself in two ways. You hear yourself when your voice comes out of your mouth and back in your ear. That's auditory hearing. You also hear yourself when your voice is rattling inside your bones inside. That's bone conduction. You hearing both at the same time when you yourself are talking is really weird to think about. But you, each of you, are the only people, the only person on this planet who hears yourself the way you do. Everyone else hears you only auditorially. That's why you don't think you sound like yourself when you hear your voice on a tape recorder or an answering machine. Okay? You're the only one that hears both. The rest of us hear auditorially. I would hear you if I put my hand on your chest or your back. I would feel your voice. I would hear you using my bone conduction. I hear my voice now reverberating inside my head. I hear myself. Now this perspective is not automatic. There are many deaf people who don't know about their bone conductive hearing. They too have to shift their focus, shift their attention in such a way that they become aware of their bone conductive sound. And that is why many people who have hearing aids maybe talk too loud. They're using their voice to come out, and they're trying to hear it back into the hearing aid. And so the voices get louder and louder as they go deaf, and they're aware of only the auditory sound. The minute the person becomes aware of their bone conductive sound, the volume automatically drops, automatically. It's so obvious. And in fact, they often start talking too quietly. The people might start saying, I can't hear you, you're talking too quietly. But to themselves, their bone conductive sounds are so apparent, and that's a real shift in perspective to get there. Now, I know that for many hearing people, the idea of going deaf, silent, it's really scary. They imagine that when you're deaf, that there's like a black hole of nothingness. It's just, if you hear nothing, then you must think nothing. You feel nothing. You are nothing. And that is not true. Deaf people, too, have to find their moment of silence. It's loud in here. Our thoughts, our visual noises that we perceive, it's really, visual noises are real and just as impactful as auditory noises, We have to find our moment of silence. In fact, in ASL, many of the signs, or not all, but there are signs that are famously paired with sound. Nonverbal, so it's quiet, it's said silently. For example, now here's an example of the trees moving. To me, that is noise. I hear those trees, I hear the Christmas tree lights. They talk to me too. The visual noises like that. Another example is the sign for success, at last, finally. And it's famously paired with that's very impactful when we see it. Another sign is the word sign for huge, gigantic, mega, giant. We pair with the word, with the sound. These are famous connections in the deaf community. And just to show you that sound is perceived clearly, visually. I once went to a tractor pull, a monster truck show, And it was so freaking loud. I'm telling you, it was so loud, I swear to you, that I felt my teeth rattling in my gums. Really. I could feel my teeth rattling in my gums. I used to go disco dancing all the time. And I can't tell you how many times people would be in the disco and they would say, you can feel the vibration, right? I mean, the place is like boom, bum, bum, bum. And they'll be saying, I don't know. I mean, well, I'm not feeling it, you know. And to deaf people will be like, seriously, your body, your skeletal body is involved, whether you know it or not, whether you're aware of it or not. I used to go to this disco that had these giant speakers. They were kind of concaved a little bit. And I could sit inside, and I would feel my heart being forced to follow the beat of the music. You know, it would be going like this, and my heart would be doing the exact same thing, you know? And now, if a hearing person were to sit inside those speakers, they would be crying, and they would never even notice that their heart had been following the beat of the music. Do you understand that? Do you understand? Your perspective of what is going on may not tell the whole story. Now, it doesn't help that our American culture is not very comfortable with silence at all. You know, like other cultures, the Japanese culture, you know, they're comfortable with, they actually build into their tea ceremony silence, where while you're pouring the tea, everybody's expected to be quiet while they listen to the sound of the tea going into the cup. They honor that silence, you know. But no, we Americans, we have to have sound everywhere, in the elevator, you know, background noises everywhere, you know. And we feel that silence is not comfortable. And so, now, I want to say that the best way that I know how to explain deafness is through a metaphor about a campfire. Sound is so overwhelming, it's so demanding of your attention that it's like fire. Fire is breathing your oxygen. It is breathing in your attention. If I had some kind of infrared camera, I would see this circular pull of the fire pulling you into, taking in all of your attention, all of your oxygen. It would just be like this. You'd be sitting around, and if I tapped you and I said, look, a shooting star, you would look up and you would say, oh, yeah, and then you would go right back. That's sound. It blinds you to what else is out there, you know. Now, the first time that I went camping without a campfire, I had the reaction that many hearing people would have if they were to lose their hearing. I said, what? No campfire? Are you kidding? It's going to be ruined. Completely ruined. What are we going to do? What are we going to do at night? What are we going to do? It's going to be freezing. It's going to be cold. We're going to be sitting there just waiting for the dawn. It's ruined. So, how can you have no campfire and be happy? How can that be, you know? And I was lucky. I was with people who really understood. And that night I had the most amazing experience, so memorable. We took a hike along a very well-worn trail, and the moon was full, and we saw grasses blowing in the valleys in the moonlight. We saw rivers, and the moonlight would dance off the river like diamonds. It was so bright. It was so beautiful. I didn't see that in the daytime. You know, I saw things and experienced things at night that were so completely different in the daytime. And it was not the same, and it was magical. And so in that way, the deaf experience is similar. It's rich, it's deep, and your perspective can be so profoundly different that you can't imagine that it exists until you're there. The point is that the difference isn't a thing about something being good and now it becomes worse. It's just different. And it can be a profound difference that you can't imagine is there. Now, in that way, creativity thrives on perspective taking. Your creative energies morph and evolve, whether you're aware of them or not. I can deny it all I want that I'm not an actor, but those energies will still be there for me to discover. That field of potentiality is with you at all times, whether you're aware of it or not. So if you feel that you've lost your mojo, your creative energy, you have writer's block, you're waiting on your muse, just breathe. Breathe more. Trust. It's never gone. It's there in that field of potentiality. And you will know that each and every one of you will feel deep in your bones that your energies are there, waiting for you to find them. Thank you.